Food. Food is necessary for sustenance to remain alive. But as I've mentioned in another post about fire, it's a fascinating post. I highly suggest you watch it. We have evolved over 3 million years cooking. And because of that, our digestive system has evolved so that we have a smaller stomach and we have smaller, shorter intestines than do our primate counterparts. So that we cannot eat an ape diet because most of it that they eat, it would be toxic to us because we don't have an intestine or stomach large enough to deal with the toxins. So because of that, when you cook something, you release its flavors, and you also caramelize it, and you tenderize it. And I just had a pastrami sandwich, and how tasty is that, right? And for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, but the tastes that are most compelling are sweet and salty. So we live in an age where that's actually very cheap. And it's very easy to become overweight. And so I usually eat a lot of whole foods. One of my favorite foods right now is goji berries. I love goji berries. I used to love apples, but because I eat goji berries, I don't need apples anymore. And I only eat a few goji berries. They're packed with nutrients. But probably the favorite style of cooking for me is Italian. I love tomato sauce in pasta and stuff like that. I don't eat so much meat. My wife eats lots of meat. She's from Hungarian lineage, and she loves cured meats. But I also really like Japanese. I love sushi, and that's probably one of the meats that we don't need to cure is fish meat. Because many of our ancestors for the longest time shucked oysters and ate clams and mussels and stuff like that. So it's not necessary to cook those. The Western diet with steak and stuff is great too. Maybe it relies too much on the cow for milk and for meat, especially now. It would have been okay if America didn't subsidize so much corn. And the fact is that cows were not evolved to eat corn; they were evolved to eat grass. So I believe that as long as you eat grass-fed cows, your diet will be fine, and you'll not suffer. So, cuisine is, what's wonderful about today is that it's fusing, right? There's so many different cultures within metropolitan areas now that, we have, like eating Chinese in America is much different than eating Chinese in China, right? So, we have a lot of confluence of influences, and I think we can only look forward to a future where things have been perfected and we have perfect foods. I like going to Jugo Juice and having their Achai Berry Blast or Achai Power or something like that, a chai protein shake, and it's very satisfying. And sometimes I even have their wheatgrass drink. And that gets as basic food as you possibly can get. It's simply grass squeezed. And so you bypass all of the animals that rely on grass for energy, and you get the energy straight from the grass and straight from the sun. So I prefer things a bit more complicated than that. I just don't want to eat grass juice. I prefer things going through many different evolutions before it reaches me. So, to be sophisticated, right? Like drinking wine, drinking interesting beers. My wife is from the land of Pilsen, where Pilsner was created. And in the fall, hopefully, we'll be going to Slovakia and the Czech Republic, and I'll be having lots of cheap beer. But I can't say I really enjoy Slovak fare. One of their soups is called drżki, and it's tripe, and it's all right. It's just I don't see the need to eat cow stomach, right? But I mean, there's also lots of cultures like Britain, like who have been, they've been looked down upon their cuisine, like bangers and mash, and mashed peas or whatever like that, and but it just depends, how you get your food, where you live. They live in such a environment where there's not much sun and stuff, so things are going to be different there than, say, if you come from California, right? So, I've been in California, and it's great, the sun-dried tomatoes and stuff, but anyways,